Hello, this is Mr. Giomini coming to you with a little quick review on how to apply some of the skills we learned today into solving a proportion. So if I take a look, I've used actually one of our own students, Sydney's original pieces of artwork to help me solve this problem. So let's take a look at the problem and what we need to solve here. Sydney reduced the size of her drawing to a width of 3 1/3 or 3 3/10 inches. What is the new height if it was originally 32 and a half inches tall and 32 9/10 inches wide? So I know that I am comparing height to width. I know what the new width is because she's reduced her drawing. The new width is equal to 3 1/3 inches. I want to find out what the new height is. Now to do this I can set up a proportion. Now I can set it up as height over width, or I can set it up as width over height. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with my first one, height over width. Now, I'm looking for the old compared to the new. So any new measurements will go over here, any old will go over here. Now going back into the problem, Sydney reduced the size of her drawing to a width of 3 3/10 of an inch. What is the new? So this, we're trying to solve for the new height if it was originally, so this must be the old right here. This must be all the old measurements. If the original was 32 and a half inches tall, 32 and a half inches tall, and 42 and 9/10 inches wide. So this is the old. So tall, that has to deal with height. So we have 32 and a half inches tall over 42 and 9/10 inches wide. That is equal to my new. Now let's go back. Sydney reduced the size of her drawing to a width of 3 3/10 inches. Okay, width. That has to do with wide, so the width is going to have to go on the bottom. So 3 3/10 of an inch wide. I do not know the new height, so I'm going to put my h there as my variable to stand for what is the unknown. Now taking a look at this, I am seeing that, let's see here, I'm just going to look at this. So this is 32 and a half. So the height is shorter, or not as quite as large as the width. So when I do my cross product, I know whatever I solve for h must be less than 3 3/10. So I'm going to do my cross product, multiply this by this. It is going to be equal to whatever this is this. So let's take a look and set this up. So I have 32 and a half times 3 3/10 is going to be equal to 42 and 9/10 times the unknown height. So using my calculator, I'm going to pull the calculator out so you guys see where my math is here. There you go. Alright, so I don't want to cover up Sydney's artwork. I'm going to go 32 and 5/10 times 3 3/10. That is going to give me 107 and 25 hundredths, which is then going to be equal to 42 and 9/10 times h. Now we're solving for h. We want to evaluate for h. I want to solve for 1h, not 42 and 9/10. So I need to get rid of that 42 and 9/10. So I now divide both sides by 42 and 9/10. That cancels out. So all I'm left with is h. So h is equal to, let me divide here. I already have that in my calculator. 107 and 25 hundredths divided by 42 and 9/10. That is equal to 2.5. And it's going to be 2.5 inches. So going back to what I originally thought, I knew that this h had to be smaller than the 3 3/10 to be proportional this side, and it is. So it looks like I am correct. Now, I guess I could check this another way by saying, because we said that was 107 and 25 hundredths. Let's see if when I cross multiply there, I also get. So now let's go 2 and 5/10 times 42 and 9/10. and I get 107 and 2500. So now I see that both cross products gave me a product of 107 and 2500. Oops, sorry, Cindy, for covering up your picture there. My bad. Okay, hope this helped you out. Enjoy.